What is up, guys? How's it going out there today? Today, I actually just saw it about an hour ago. I'm going to do a quick review on the Lost Boys Part 2. It is called the Lost, or it's called Lost Boys: The Tribe. It came out in 2008. So in this one, Corey Feldman does come out in it. Um, there are also there's a couple actors in there. I mean, I recognize them. I've seen them in movies, but I couldn't tell you the name of the characters to be exact. But there is that one guy in the very beginning of the movie. He came out in From Dusk Till Dawn. He comes out in a lot of horror movies. He was the dude with the dick gun, the one with the whip. I can't remember his name. Shit. Anyways, yeah. So let's go ahead and jump into the movie. So the movie kind of just starts out some guys surfing out on the beach, and the guy I was just mentioning right now, the one that comes out and From Dusk Till Dawn, he walks out there and he's talking about, what are you doing on my property and this and that. So, um, you know, guys are being a dick to him, he's being a dick back. This exchange of words, and pretty much tells him, I own the beach and everything that's on it, so I guess I own y'all, and that's when the fangs come out, and it's weird because the trick was kind of on him that they were vampires too, so they would attack him, cut off his head, and then we just go right into the movie. So what it is brother and sister, they moved to this town. It's called Luna Bay, and their parents died in a car accident, so it's just them two, and they moved there with their aunt. Aunt rents them out some cottage or apartment or whatever, and yeah, so once they get settled in, they go into town, and it's funny because right when they get into town, there's this overweight man without a shirt playing the saxophone, shaking his hips just like the guy in the original movie, the buff guy with the oil. So I guess that's kind of like a resemblance, or maybe him later in age, he let himself go or whatever. So, but anyways, so the brother ends up meeting the guy that we saw in the beginning of the movie that turns out to be a surfer just like him. They were on some pro circuit, and he invites him out to his house party. So the brother and the sister, they end up going to the house party. You know, the sister gets she gets to know the guy, and the brother, he ends up with some random girl there that secretly is a vampire, but he doesn't know it yet. So the sister's spending time with the guy that is the vampire. He ends up giving her some of his what he's got in the flask, which turns out to be some of his blood. So she drinks it. She feels a little funny. She gets sick, and shit hits the fan. The brother gets pissed off because she leaves with him with the vampire on the bike, and they come back, and he takes her home and whatever. So um, they get into an argument in the house, and all of a sudden she turns into a fucking vampire and grabs him by the neck and holds him up against the wall, and he freaks out, and out of nowhere here comes Corey Feldman, Edgar Frog, hitting her in the back of the head with the fucking surfboard. That was funny shit to me. Um, so he hits her with the surfboard, and I didn't mention this, but early in the movie, he was looking for work in town. So they told him, he told the guy at the surf shop that he wants to do shaping, which is shaping the boards. And he says, well, you got to go see the Frog Brothers because they're the only ones in town that do this. So he goes out there, knocks on the door at his house. He never answers, so he leaves him a note with his address and how to find him. So basically, Edgar Frog magically appears right at the right time. The vampire, his sister's, part vampire. So, they get into exchange of words. He doesn't believe him about the vampires and whatever. So, yeah. So he leaves, comes back to, no, wait. So after he leaves the Edgar Frog, the brother kind of, he's kind of freaking out about what happened. That girl that he was hooking up with at the party, um, she kind of just shows up at the door and, wants to finish what they started. You're gonna invite me in. Whenever somebody asks you, they're gonna invite you in. Don't fucking do it. Don't fucking do it. There's always something wrong with that shit. But anyways, so they he lets her in. They're getting into it and whatever, and she tries to fucking bite him, drink his blood and whatever, and he ends up throwing her on the wall through some deer horns that they pinned on the wall. Kind of hint towards the first movie. And what I saw that's different in this one, of course, it's lower budget. It's not as good as the original. Of course, it's not going to be. But once he hung her up on the deer horn, she kind of turned to stone and exploded. Um, yeah, so that was kind of weird. It's kind of cheesy, but whatever. So he goes and sees Edgar Frog the next day and tells him what's going on. He throws down his lines about how she's turning into a vampire, but she's only half vampire because she's only drank the head vampire's blood and she hasn't fed yet. So just as long as they kill the head vampire, she'll turn back to normal. So they kind of plot this out to where the brother, because at this point the sister's gone missing, she's gone back to the head vampire and she's over there, you know, in Pound Town, and they make this great idea that the brother's going to go all the way, to become a vampire just to get her out of there. So he goes and he hangs out with them and whatever, and shit hits the fan there because he did turn half vampire, but he didn't go all the way because he couldn't do it. And yeah, so shit hits the fan. One of the vampires dies. He kills him, and then the Edgar Frog shows up, and they get their shit together. They get all the weapons. They got to go down the list of all the weapons of the guy. It's hilarious shit. So yeah, so they're on their way down to the lair of the vampires. They get in there and they kill the first one. They kill the second one. They get to the head vampire. This is where this movie starts turning for me. Is when they get to the last vampire. It was just so easy to kill the guy. I mean, it was really short, and the movie kind of just ended abruptly. And in the end, the head vampire basically dies, and the brother and sister turn back to normal. What I did find interesting is at the end of the movie, when it's all said and done, the end credits, it shows Edgar Frog sitting out on a bench in the middle of nowhere, and as I know you're out there, and it's Corey Haim. He comes out of the shadows, and they're kind of bickering back and forth about how he forgives him for shit of the past and whatever. And I would assume this has something to do with the other brother that's missing. Maybe he killed him or something. I have no idea. I will dip into the third one here and let you know about that in just a minute. So yeah, so Corey Haim's a vampire, and they're talking about they're gonna go at it, and that's where the little end of credits scene ends, and that's pretty much the movie. It was pretty cheesy. It was alright. It was watchable. But that whole thing where the vampire turned into stone and exploded, um, the little hints towards the first movie or references like the saxophone fat guy on the side of the road, or the whole spiel about the vampires and the rules and killing them, and how no two bloodsuckers go out the same, and stuff like that. So I mean, there's a lot of references to the first movie, a lot of the rules that are followed, but it was alright. I mean, uh, I'd watch it again, but not right now. Maybe like in a few months or something. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That was the movie. If it sounds like you kind of want to piece it with the other one, I mean, I'm gonna watch the third one so that way I can just kind of connect them all and understand where they went with after the first one. So I mean, check it out. It was all right. It was watchable. Of course, yeah. So thanks for watching, guys. If you did like this video, be sure and give it the thumbs up. If you want to leave any kind of comments on how I did the video, anything about the movie, or even if you'd like to see me do more reviews on movies, just go ahead and comment down below. Let me know. Any kind of feedback I accept. I want to hear anything from y'all. Let's see what y'all thought about it. And if you are seeing this and you aren't subscribed already to my channel, and you like what you see, feel free to subscribe. And hope y'all have a great rest of your day, and see y'all later. Thanks.